guys, Chantel checking in here. So in today's video, I want to share my thoughts and opinions about this Jubilee video. Do all millionaires think the same? So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and let's jump right into it. So the first question was, am I self-made? And they brought up really good, valid points. And first, I would say there was a young lady. She said when she was younger, she lived in a one-bedroom apartment with 5+ people. Her mom had one-bedroom apartment. She stayed with her brothers and sisters, but she said she never it was never like bad or anything, but she stated living through that struggle made me want to better myself, so I did any means necessary to better myself, which I would say that per se, when she said that, I can relate to, because honestly, as of now, I stay in a one bedroom with 3 people, like me and then 2 other people, and I know how like hard it gets and how frustrating it is. But at the same time, I felt her when she said living through that struggle made me want to better myself. So I did any means necessary to better myself. And right within that moment, I was like, yes, because currently that's how I'm feeling. Like, I'm internally grateful. Sound like a kid from Toy Story. But I'm very grateful for having somewhere to sleep, for having a roof over my head. But right now, I would say, me personally, I'm in a struggle, and like I have a fire and desire to better myself. Like, this isn't where I want to settle, if that kind of makes sense. So when she said that, I was like, yes, like I can relate to you on that. So they also stated how, having the odds stacked against you, and that most definitely I can relate to. And I feel like when a lot of people say, well, I'm self-made, I feel as though self-made means when you put in the hard work and the dedication, and you invest in yourself to become the better version of yourself, the best person you can honestly be. And I feel like that's what self-made means to me, but there's no wrong answers here. So next, I want to touch bases on a really important topic that actually I didn't even think about until I actually watched this video, and they gave like their different thoughts and opinions. The difference between broke and poor. Comment on this video if you know the difference between broke and poor, or if you want to share your perspective on what you think the difference between broke and poor is. So hold on, let me go to the next page. I wrote all this down yesterday too. So one thing a guy said in the video was, I had a poor mentality, but I was broke financially. And I was like, like I never really thought of it that way. Like, I never really thought of it. And he stated how he got kicked out, I think when he was 17, or I think 7, out of his parents' house. Can't quite remember, I think it's 7 or 17, and he had to stay in his grandparents' garage. And he was like, in that moment, I had a poor mentality and I was broke financially, and in order to better myself and how I became the person that I am, I changed my mindset. If I have a rich mindset, then I'll become rich financially, which I 100% agreed on that. Actually, I was like, yes. Like, it's funny because a lot of people tell you, like, manifest what you want, and don't speak negativity into the universe or into the air, or speak negativity. That tends to come back around. And I would say, me personally, one thing that I honestly struggle with, like, I'm not perfect, but one thing that I struggle with is I have a poor mentality right now. So I tend to talk really negatively, like on myself in certain situations. And watching this video, it honestly opened my eyes to a totally new way of going about things and putting things into perspective, which I liked. This was actually my favorite part when they talked about the difference between being rich and poor. And the guy also stated, this is about the being, I said rich and poor, didn't I? But the difference between poor and broke. He stated that starting, start from somewhere and going through things builds character. And it was funny, now that I'm reading this out loud, people have tried to tell me this like a million times, and I'm so stubborn, you guys, like I didn't even listen. But actually, when I wrote this down and actually reading it out loud, like it makes perfect sense. Like you have to go through things in life in order to build character, which I most definitely agree to that. Also, they also talked about pride a little bit. They kind of danced around that. Trying not to have too much pride. And I would say, me personally, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, I don't have pride. Like the only reason I've never went back home is because I have too much pride to go back home to my mom. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. But next they the next question was I should have to pay more in taxes. Now, I didn't really think about this. Well, I thought about it, but I didn't really deeply think about it. And they also made some good valid points too. Like a lot of big corporations that a lot of people don't know is a lot of corporate companies don't pay U.S. taxes. They could have a different tax bracket in a different country, which I didn't even fucking know that, actually. I didn't know that at all, and I said, but us, we have to pay taxes, or, you know, we get in serious trouble. And they also stated that sometimes when you make a lot of money, or if you're a millionaire, the government kind of relies on them the most. And they feel as though, oh, you make a lot of money, so you have to pay this much in taxes. But I also didn't know that it was a good valid point, because my mentor was actually in this video, and she actually stated something that again I didn't know and I didn't think about. Was she said majority of businesses fail not because they don't know how to advertise or anything like that, or if they don't know what they're doing. Majority of businesses fail online because of taxes. I said, keep that in mind. But 58% of them totally disagree to this question, because they feel as though that they shouldn't pay that many taxes, or that much in taxes, correction. And so actually I'm gonna give you guys like a fun fact. Amazon paid $0 in taxes. Mind you, this is information from a month ago. But Amazon paid $0 in taxes, but they were able to donate over 600. So they were able to donate over $600,900 to the brush fires, but paid $0 in taxes. Keep that in mind. So, next, this next question was, I've spent an absurd amount of money on something because I can. Basically, I spend money on things because I can. That basically was the question. So 86% of them agree. And before I jump into this part, I'm going to say this. If you had the money, go ahead and get it. Fuck what anybody else think, because I'm pretty sure if I was in that position and I was one of them and I was a millionaire and I had a shit ton of money, I would go spend it on things that I want to spend it on, per se. So I'm not even mad at this question, because I know for a fact if everybody were millionaires and had a shit ton of money, everybody would go out and buy things because they can, because they have money. Am I mad at that? No, I'm not. But one person stated not everything like has to be materialistic, which is true. Like my mentor stated in the video, she was like, well, when I made a shit ton of money, of course I got my chest done, I cleared my skin, you know, I fixed my teeth. Like I made moderation to myself, which I agree, because again, if I had a shit ton of money, I would most definitely get braces, or I would most definitely fix my teeth. I would most definitely want to clear my skin. Now, would I get my boobs done? No. But would I get my butt done? No. But I would most definitely like clear my skin and fix my teeth. Like I would most likely probably get braces. Like I wouldn't want to get like my teeth done, because I feel like having those all white teeth, like your mouth looks like chiclets to me. I don't know if y'all know what chiclet gum is, but that's what their mouths look like. And me personally, I wouldn't get my teeth done. But I would most definitely, if I had a shit ton of money, I would most definitely get shit done. I would most definitely buy things because I can. And also, this was a really good, valid point that was brought up, actually. One person said, once you hit the goal, it's kind of like, you know, I kind of enjoyed the journey way more. And what I picked up from that was, okay, so this goes back to buying things because you want to. So the journey you take to reach a specific goal, it can be anything. You know, you could have a goal that you could have a goal that you have your your dream cars. You have a dream car that you've always wanted, and that's a goal of yours, is to get that dream car. The journey you take to reach that goal is satisfying, but once you get there, it's kind of like, okay, I kind of enjoyed going on that journey to get this, but now that I got it, it's like, so I felt like that was really, really important too. And I feel like that was I feel like that was actually a really good, valid point, because again, I didn't think that in depth into it, if that makes sense. Like the journey is always better than the goal. I feel like taking that journey is more satisfying. But yeah, so it says one of them said the journey is more fun than the destination. So next question was, inequality is one of humanity's biggest problems. And I feel like this was a really, really good question to think about, because I didn't even think about this. Like, I didn't even think about this. One thing I will say that I loved about this video was the fact that it really opened my eyes to a lot of things to honestly think about, and a lot of things that come with having a lot of money that I didn't per se or personally think about. So 73% agree. Some felt strongly that anyone can become successful. So I would say I somewhat agree and disagree because they all have really good valid points. Like um one stated that um I keep losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. So one of them stated that also it's difficult for the poor to have access to certain things or certain situations. Um, if if the rich is getting richer, then the poor is either staying in the same position or they're getting poorer, which I feel like that is also true because, for example, for me, I have a phone. Like this is how I upload. This is how I edit. Like my whole life is in my phone. I have a phone and I have a light ring and I have Wi-Fi, or I try to get Wi-Fi from any place I can get it. But I don't have a computer. I don't have an actual camera. I don't even have a camera stand. Like I do it all just based off here. But also, someone did state that anyone can become successful, and I feel like that's also true for the simple fact that I may not have all the basic tools, but I make do with what I have, and I make something out of nothing. And I've been pushing along, and I've been getting a following, and I feel like, to go back to this question, can anyone be successful? Yes, I honestly believe that. But I also agree with the fact that not that many people have access to, certain things. Like, not everybody has access to Wi-Fi. Not everybody has a phone. Like, hell, majority of people's phones are not even on right now. So it's kind of like I somewhat agree and I somewhat disagree. But this was a really, really, really good question. Also, somebody also stated, nah, that was actually for another question. Never mind. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this video, you guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. I actually really liked that video a lot, and I will be putting the link in my description box down below so you guys can click that and check that out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.